Most of my college experience up to this point has been rooted in lots and lots of video games that got me through a tough semester or a busy week I just wanted to be over. I remember starting my sophomore year of college last year, and I absolutely hated it. I was a full-time student, I had an internship, and I was working a part-time job. And on top of all that, I still managed to find time for video games. And I remember there was this one week where all I wanted was to find a new game to play, and somehow I came across this game called Persona 5, and this was supposed to be an 80+ hour game, and I didn't realize that until after I had already bought it. And not long after that, I dropped it to play other games that caught my attention, and I ended up forgetting about it, at least for the time being. In the spring of 2020, I declared my major to study film, and my classes got a lot better. My schedule was still pretty busy, but a lot of my time was still spent playing games though. Since my schedule was packed from morning to night, that meant I was always dropping off the grid on the weekends, doing nothing else but playing games to recharge, and things felt really good, at least until March. I remember I was at work when everyone on campus got the email saying classes were canceled. As I'm sure many people are aware, days turned to weeks, turned to months. Needless to say, there was a void created by social distancing and experiencing all my classes through Blackboard and Zoom classes. By the end of the summer, I felt the need to find some kind of game to play just so every day wouldn't feel so samey. For whatever reason, one of the first things that came to my mind was this sudden urge to revisit Persona 5, that game I tried and forgot about a while ago. Fast forward 3 months later, and what used to be a game that I didn't have time for was now the perfect escape from a global pandemic. It's a game about a group of teenagers who wanted to find justice in a world too passive to expose the shitty, corrupted adults around them. When I was playing this game over this past semester, I couldn't help but be reminded of the social injustice, civil unrest, and corrupted politicians that exist in reality, because in many ways this game commentates on all of those topics, but it handles it all so well through its writing and its characters. During the time I was playing the game, I didn't feel like I was trapped in the same day over and over again, yet in many ways the lines between my real life and the game started to blur. In real life, I like keeping a journal to log everything I do in a day, and in Persona 5, writing in your journal just happens to be the game's way of saving your progress, so I thought that was really cool. I also love making coffee personally, so it spoke well to me when I figured out coffee making is actually a significant part of this game's battle system. Making coffee can help you and your friends in battle when you're low on stamina, and even deepen your relationship with your guardian, who, as it turns out, owns a cafe that you get to live in for the duration of the game. In fact, it's actually because of this game I decided to finally learn how to cook. I probably spent 3 months learning how to cook Sojiro's LeBlanc curry. However, what really matters about this game is how it helped me cope through this weird, difficult time while also giving me an escape to a life outside of quarantine. In many ways, I felt like this game was helping me relive the busiest days of my life in the best way possible. It was my way of escaping the confines of my living room into a life where I got to be a busy high school student moonlighting as a phantom thief reforming society. This game also helped me realize just how much I took for granted, things like sitting through boring lectures or commuting to work, having casual conversations, having deep conversations, but also taking the time to strengthen the relationships that matter to me. Maybe one day we'll all be back to staring out the window during morning lectures or standing shoulder to shoulder in a subway car that isn't meant to fit 100 people. But when that day does come, I know I'll have this beautiful, crazy game to thank for making a difficult time feel a lot less lonely.